Hello, this is JB, Gemstone Jester. I'm not great at commentating on things by myself, but I sure am gonna try. Uh, but basically, I'm gonna try to do sort of a commentary over. I'm gonna say this is practice for Spyro Speedrun to just kind of show how I'm doing things, because I did a run not too long ago, and I'm trying to bring it down, but I've been having not a great time at that. It's kind of frustrating, but I won't be going super fast in this because I am talking and I gotta think of what to say while playing. But I thought I would try to explain what I'm doing. I know there's better guides than I would ever give around the internet, but I'll have to try and compile what I know all in one thing, because what I know is from a bunch of assorted pieces of tutorials and guides. That first bit of tech is called a double jump, where I'm just jumping over things I shouldn't. If you're not holding a direction and charging before you hit the peak of a jump, it'll give you a little bit more height, and that's called a double jump. It gets you up a lot of places you wouldn't otherwise have access to. And that's used quite a lot throughout, I feel like, every category. I'm not an expert in Spyro speedrunning. I'm just doing this for fun. Like, this, I also should say, this is again on the EPSX emulator, which has a version that is allowed for speedrunning, because it is fairly close to actual PS1 or PS2 hardware. I missed that. I'm grabbing gems because I take a little bit more time doing a swim and air glitch for getting to Ripto, the final boss, because the clip to get to him without it is very inconsistent and it's very hard, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So as you saw, the double jump just kind of skipped me over a big barrier where you're supposed to have swim to get to this point, but that costs 500 gems and I'm not doing that right now, because that would require going through a bunch of levels. I'm jumping over that fairy because otherwise she would slow you down for a tutorial on, I think it's the camera. This, if I can get this. This is basically how you skip to the first boss, Crush, is clipping into the door and then flying over here. Otherwise, you're supposed to get all the talismans in the first world, which is, like you saw in Glimmer, that pickaxe thing, where you just accomplish a goal at the end of the level. Which is usually just get to the end of the level. This is Crush. He is not an especially hard fight. You just kind of dodge whatever he's got, usually. I have trouble with him fast, because there's damage boosts for like half of his fight. This is not too hard, but when it's all red, I hate it, because there's so much risk in dying for me. As you saw there, that just saves time, where you could be waiting for him to shoot 2 or 3 fireballs. And if you just run away after you flame him, he'll chase you. And I'd rather not deal with that, because there's risk I could get hit like that. I'm super glad I got that sheep. Oh god, that was scary. I'm not gonna make this. Ah! I hate doing this fight because of that. It's always the last 2 hits that I'm just like, I'm gonna die. I can't get the timing right for some reason. I'm either too far away that I actually get him to run, or I just run way too early. I messed that up. Hey! that's another thing. I'm not perfect at this game. In fact, I wish I could just die now and reset this. Or reset the run, but I don't want to do that because I'm just kind of... Can this sheep, please? I'm not great at speedrunning. I did this sort of on a whim, but actually no. Well, sort of on a whim a few years ago. Because I love this game, this is one of my favorites. And being speedruns, I'm like, oh, that looks fun, I want to try that. And so I did that. It took a while to... I lived, whatever. It took a while to learn, but it's been fun. It's been not too complicated to learn the movement. It's been more about clips and timing that. I'm glad that my first run that I submitted was under half an hour. So it's like, oh, I can just beat this in feasibly under an hour for sure, under half an hour with more and more practice, because that's really what it takes. It takes practice. And it's fun. You do have to be like a machine when you're playing these games and like learn timing and how to get everything done. I'm gonna get some sheep just because this I did not do right. Whatever. I'm just gonna go on. There's a way to get height with dead animals or enemies where you hit a button while you're clipping into their body. It sends you up. It's called a proxy. It's because the game is like, oh, you're not supposed to be there. Let me just shoop. And I need to think about this one. I could also use save states, but I don't. Maybe on one particular part, so I'm just not wasting lives. Ah, God! We're gonna try. There it is. That's a proxy, because you're in the body of a thing that you're not supposed to be. Sort of like when you're clipping through things in games. The game will be like, you're not allowed to be in there. I'm shooting you out now. It is not super consistent to get, for me at least. There's like a few of them in like Spyro's 48, or 40 orbs, 48. And 100%. There we go. I think that's called a flop, is when you stop charging through that. Through the double jump, Spyro will give this animation where he's like, ah, I'm falling. And that gets a little bit more height, but I have a hard time with it. This is more gems for buying Swim later on. There's another life. I'm glad I got that one life off of Frog, because that just helps. It also makes up for dying to Crush earlier. Yeah, you are not supposed to be on these roofs. But I'm glad you can walk on them. There's another flop for getting over that roof, because otherwise you just bump into it. I'm gonna do that just for a save point if I want to die at any point during this clip. I might make a save state here, or I'm debating it because I'm submitting it, but I'm probably not gonna get a better time than my first run. I'm going to explain this after I do it sort of into the gulp fight. But this is how you skip into the second boss. It's very precise. I already kind of messed it up. But I might be able to salvage it. Nope. Okay. We'll go back without dying first. Just sort of explain what's going on and not just waste time. That one I really need to get down. Even though I got it first try on my submitted run, I wish I could get it more consistently. There's basically a breakable wall there that you're supposed to get an orb through that passageway. Because like there's a swirling vortex that sends you up. You go up to that big tower on the top right, and you fly all the way across the map to... God, this is why I hate doing this part of the run for some reason. Because I can't get that super well sometimes. Yeah, there's supposed to be a wall there, but since we're at this angle, it's somehow invisible. And it helps you clip through to get to the second boss. I learned this way of doing it to try and clip through the floor through a video. And it did not help me here, thanks! I'll do one more, just run back through the rooftops with it. There's a door there that you're supposed to have a certain number of orbs to unlock, but we just do this. I don't think you can get through the other way. Like, you're supposed to come at it through this way. Or the other way, I would say. Boop, boop, boop. I will make a save state, I think, at this gate this time, just so I don't waste time running about. I do that so the vortex doesn't get me and bring me back up. I think it's this. Yep, I just made a save state. So, don't have to run every time to get there. And I'm just gonna keep timing myself, cause why not? It's a practice run more than me submitting to speedruns.com. This... We just walk left and hope that we clip through the floor and not out the wall like that. The same video I use as a guide for this skip specifically wants me to... Never mind. I usually wait for the shadow drop, so I can't move while on the ground here, but jump, charge, do a charging glide, and then we clip through the floor. Okay. I'm gonna load that again, but that was basically it. I really wish I could have gotten it there, because then I wouldn't have to do so many camera tricks for my more consistent version of this. I might just be in the wall. Yeah, I can't get out. I'm loading it again. Ugh. This is not very exciting visual over it, but it's very technical and it's just hard, and that's why I sort of have to focus on it. God. And I'm not perfect at this. I would like to do more, like, I would like to do more practice of this more often, just so I can get to be, like, speedrunning this more often. I'm sorry, I'm not great at commentating, usually, but I'm trying my best. It's just because I'm stuck on this part that I'm like, oh. That's not how I want to do it, but we'll go with it. There we go. Surprisingly, got it again. And there we go. It just skips us to Gulp. We would need 14 talismans from both Worlds 1 and 2 usually to get there. Along with getting orbs and gems to pay for everything. Like, all the rooftop stuff I was doing, you're normally supposed to buy a climb ability for 500 or maybe more gems, but that's not fast, you know? Gulp is hard. Gulp's not hard casually, but he's hard for me to do consistently fast. I would recommend watching world record runs, maybe, to see how people just get him like 2 hits in one, because every time he gets hit, he breaks the other things that could do damage to him. The rockets is probably the one I can do best, because it's just like, here you go. Basically these birds from another level are dropping eggs that hatch the stuff you need to hit him, like that. I wish I didn't get hit by there. The first 3 are always the same. Barrel, then bomb, then rocket. Then it gets into RNG. And if you're behind Gulp, usually he doesn't do anything, but once he sees you, he'll either jump on you, shoot his little lasers at you, or eat one of the things you're supposed to hit him with, and I could have gotten that barrel, I think. Yeah, I'm not doing good, but we're trying. I'm not dead, so that's a good thing. Dying would just be the worst thing, because then I'd have to start over, so... Oh, I could have maybe hit him twice for that. But that's okay. He's not... Since there's a way to just not have him hit you, that's good. That just makes the fight not last forever. And there he's dead. Since I have made save states already, I'll make another save state for other things I gotta do that are much harder, or about as hard as the Gulp skip. I didn't skip the cutscene for some reason, but that's okay.
I think I've finally come up with a way.
And now we're in Winter Tundra. Ripto is the last boss left, but the game hides that behind you needing to collect 40 orbs, which are other missions throughout every level. This world has no more talismans to get, but every level has an assortment of orbs to collect. You're doing missions like every getting to the end just gives you an orb. There's things like collecting parts for a thing, killing certain enemies. Like there's a boss where you fight a bull in a metropolis setting with robot businessmen fighting farm animals that have lasers and rockets. It's great. I love this game because it just has really weird level themes and worlds, but it's very pretty for PS1 especially. It has very much dated, like chunky polygon whatnot, but there's a lot of charm to it. So yeah, you're not supposed to be on these mountains. And boof. Okay, I'm gonna save here because I can die here, and there was potential for me to soft lock myself. This is way too high. See that portal that I'm about to not do, and I'm just gonna load again to not waste time. Leads to a bonus world called Dragon Shores, which the plot of this game is Spyro wants to take a vacation to Dragon Shores, and he ends up here through some mishap and has to fight Ripto. and your bonus for beating the game and collecting a certain number of things is you get to go to Dragon Shores. You gotta get a certain amount of gems and orbs to get through the door. And if you collect everything, you'll get a power-up that I'm gonna try and clip through to get to. I'm gonna have to focus on this, so I'm gonna be quiet for a bit. Yeah, it's very hard for me to do. It requires a lot of buttons and setup. It requires like a double jump into a glide while holding the camera a certain way for me specifically to get over this wall. And I have to hold like back and left to try and get through it a little bit easier. That was close, though. That was the best attempt so far. Not so much. That one I jumped way too early. There's like a walking double jump you can do, where you walk a little bit, and the momentum from walking after letting go gives you a little bit, like, of distance. And there's a charge one too, but I don't know how to do that. Damn, I was holding the direction for that. Ah, that was it. That was almost it. I'm getting it. I'm close. Oh. There it is. Okay. Oh, wow, I got it on the wall, too. So normally, people go for the power-up of, like... I'll talk about the power-up when I get it. But there's another thing where you can go through this and get to there with a double jump, that little ridge between the towers. And you do a trick called the Spyro jump, where you're kind of gliding along that wall to clip through a building to watch the final cutscene. After beating the last boss, because watching it will have the game think, oh, you bought all the power-ups and everything, so here they are. You can climb, you can swim, you can do whatever. I'm gonna make a save state here. Just because there is potential for me to die in a level where you're not supposed to die normally. There we go. We have a flame power-up forever. Normally it's through a gate that gives you like a timed version of it that you don't always have, but that's the 100% completion, is you get this, after I show it, you get that just forever instead of the short breath. And that just makes it a lot easier to fight Ripto. I'm gonna try and get to Summer Forest again to buy Swim, and then we'll pretty much be good. And I'm gonna try not to get through the wrong world again. Because in my submission, I messed up a lot going to the wrong location in Summer Forest, then having to go back to Winter Tundra, then going back to Summer Forest. I was being dumb. No, and that wasted time too, because she tells you like, hey, you can do this.
Hello there.
Sparks is like your health, and I'm gonna buy Swim. And then like the last big trick of the game is like one more clip that I have a little bit of trouble with, so probably gonna make another save state for it. It's very precise. It's very interesting to watch when you get it to go off. So hopefully we can do that. We go back to that mountain that we were hopping around in. I'm actually gonna save from here, because it's just rough for me to get even to here sometimes. So buying Swim gives you access to a tech called Swim in Air, where we didn't get it. And we didn't even get that. That's why I saved here. Wow. I cannot believe I got out of that. Nope. This is a weird one to try and explain, but there's a way to have the game think you're swimming without actually being in water. It's very fun to see when it goes off. I'll probably save here, actually, so I don't have to do that jump again. That is way too early. Yeah, or way too late, I mean. There's a way to go through a water hitbox that's outside of the world and have it where you can just swim anywhere. Nope. It's very precise. I'm glad I made some save states so I can practice more stuff like this. There it is. Wow, that one just felt good to do and get right. So now I'm just swimming in the air. And just fly around wherever I want. And guess what? There's Ripto. There's nothing blocking you off from getting there. So now we're here at the fight. And that flame power-up is going to help us get through it a lot faster. There's not much to say over this. It's kind of straightforward watching it. There's 3 phases. One is just Ripto. Normally, there's orbs all around from the orbs you've collected to get to Ripto, and collecting 3 gives you power-ups to actually deal damage to him. But this works too. And then the 3rd phase, you fight him on this rocket bird. I wish I didn't get hit there. I just playing this casually, it's just very cool to see your adventure get to this point where you're flying and shooting fireballs while fighting Ripto over lava. It's crazy, and it's just very cool. Where did he go? Where? Oh, okay. I was like... And he's got one more hit. And that's it. So, 30 minutes and 5 seconds with save states and slowing down to describe it. That's fine. I've got to do a lot more practice because I'm new to this whole speedrunning thing, which should show you I don't usually do this kind of stuff. Anyone can speedrun with just practice. You just need to do a lot of work learning the ins and outs of the tech and practicing. There's always going to be lots of great resources or groups for a lot of games. Like, I joined the Spyro speedrunning Discord and had a lot of help through that. Specifically through, as I go look for them, some very cool people have helped me a lot with learning some specifics. There's Luca, Shaw, and Superdog were very nice and gave me some videos and descriptions of how better to do some things. But yeah, I love this game. I'm glad I can speedrun it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I don't usually do commentary like this, but it's fun. It's been fun recording this, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope you have a nice day.